Hello, are you preparing for a job interview? It is very important to know that there are different recruitment or interview formats that recruiters use in interviewing each candidate that are preparing for a job. Knowing these different formats enables you to prepare yourself for questions that you'll be answering and how to deliver your skill set. One of these interview formats is individual format. The individual format is a format used that involves both the interviewer and the interviewee. Here, candidates are asked questions directly by the interviewer. Here, they check their behavior, their composure, the way they behave, the way they answer questions, the way they comport themselves. They are meant to look at their eyes and know how they can react to direct contact with their employer or recruiter. Here, they check their behavior, check their confidence. The individual interview format, though, is a one-on-one interview between the individuals and the interviewer. It's meant to check a general knowledge of the candidate, like their composure, their behavior, their situational analysis. Here, they check their proven skills on how to solve problems and how they can comport themselves. Here, they ask general questions like your past experiences, your background, your role in your former place of work. So in individual interview format, I will advise candidates to make sure that they are able to express themselves properly and be able to tell about what they have done in their former company, their benefits, like what they have achieved in their former company, their roles in their former company, and their awards that they have gained, their qualification. They should be able to defend their qualification in the individual interview format and be able to tell the employer or the recruiter what they are going to do in the present company. Here, they want to check your problem solving skills. Make sure that you give them some problem solving analysis where you're able to solve some difficult situation in your former company. In that case, they know that you'll be able to be influential or being beneficial or valuable in the new company that you are. So the second interview format is a group interview format. A group interview format is a format that consists of different candidates or several candidates coming together to be interviewed by an interviewer. In this case, different interviewees meet together and are being asked random questions while in a group. This is meant to check their different abilities in a group, if they can work as a team, not just working as a team, but if those individuals that have come together can be responsible in a group. Take note, in this kind of interview, some questions are not asked directly to individuals. Why? Because they want to check if there are individuals in the crowd that hide their abilities. That means that general questions can be asked. In this case, they make sure that they take note of people who are good at answering questions and the ability of the way they comport themselves and ask those questions. So I always advise candidates in this kind of interview, make sure as much as possible to have something to say in a group and have something responsible to say in a group, because questions might not be thrown at you, it might be thrown at you, it might not be thrown at you, and sometimes they're even thrown at you suddenly when you are not prepared for that question. Make sure you make research about the company, make sure you know how to work in a team, because sometimes some questions that are asked are mostly questions that has to do with teamwork. Make sure you speak. Don't let one person continually be speaking while you are seated. So the number 3 format is the panel interview format. The panel interview format consists of a group of people, generally known as a panel, interviewing just a candidate. In this panel, it consists mostly of the hiring manager, the position supervisor, and maybe a co-worker or other co-workers attached just to interview this candidate. In this kind of interview, it is meant to check the ability of the candidate to multitask. When I mean multitasking, mostly it has to do with answering or attending to different people at a time. Here, a question is being thrown from different angles, so it is expected that this candidate is able to catch this question and answer them directly. Here, I always advise candidates to look precisely at the eyes of these panel members or these interviewers when you are answering this question. It also shows your confidence. When you're answering this question, looking at their faces and talking directly to them shows your confidence in attacking questions or in replying to questions. So questions are asked by the hiring manager, questions are asked by the supervisor of the team or of the position you're applying for, and co-workers. So they are checking your abilities. They are also asked about your values, your value system, the places you've worked before, your improvement, your knowledge, like your achievement in the place you've worked before, and what is the values you're going to be bringing to the company. So I always tell members, make sure you make your research about the company you're going into. Make sure you know very well what you are coming into, and you know their values, you know their goals, you know their missions, and what you're coming there to do, how you can be of importance to them. Make sure you know that before even coming for the interview. This kind of interview, make sure you engage every one of them, just as you would have done in an individual interview. Engage every one of them and make sure you maintain eye contact with every one of them. They're about to check your values. They're about to check if you can collaborate with other team members. They're about to check your team spirit. Make sure you tell them your abilities and your values and what you're going to be bringing into the company. Number 4 interview format is multiple round interview. When we talk about the multiple round interview, we are talking about a kind of interview that involves different kind of interview formats. When I mean different kind of interview format, we have talked about the individual interview format. So in multiple round interview, it is a different set of individual interview format. That means that they must have taken that candidate to pass through different people in an interview. For instance, in a multiple round interview, an individual or a candidate going for an interview must have passed, let's say, at least 3 different individuals in the interview phase. Yeah, what is done in this case is that most times the company releases its workers or its employees to interview the incoming employees. What do they mean to achieve in this? They're trying to know the trait of this individual or this candidate, if he can work with different kind of people, his trait on different personalities, like how he relates with different personalities. So he's interviewed first by maybe the hiring manager, is being sent to another employee, is being sent to another supervisor who interviews him. But take note, when you are going from this stage, that means that at least you've crossed the first stage, you're going to the second stage. That means that you have even done well to go to the next stage. So it is meant for you to impress, most especially in this kind of interview phase. Sometimes you might have passed either the individual interview phase or the group interview format. When you pass and go to the next stage, that means that at least you've gone ahead, you've passed through a different level. So you are meant to impress the people and show them your team working spirit, your ability, your values, your goals. So make your research about the companies, and so that as you are going by, you have much to say, and your interactive personality, that is where it entails, or that is where it will be showing your kind of interaction with people as you move ahead. Because there's some people that are being stuck there in that interview phase. They are meant to make you angry so that you will bring out that beast inside of you. But if you are able to cross that, that means that you've done well in that stage. So number 5 kind of interview format is a phone screen interview format. When we talk about the phone screen interview format, take note, it can be done either in a live video or through a call. The phone screen interview format is meant to reduce the level of unqualified candidates, so that will be coming for the main interview. So here, individuals are called and are asked questions about themselves. Mostly they're asked about their background, they're asked about their educational background, they're asked about their hard skills, they're asked about their achievements in their place of work. So in this case, employers do this to reduce the number of people that will be calling for an interview. Take note, in this kind of interview format, you are meant to prepare as if you are going for just a traditional interview. You are meant to outline your course of study. You're meant to outline your educational background, how you studied from your primary school to your secondary school with your dates. They are meant to be precise, because sometimes some of these individuals or some of these candidates that apply for job say different things on their CV, whereas is different thing on their head. So these things are meant to be in your head. Let's take for instance that you work in a place in the year 2020, let's say March 2020, and you ended in October 2021. You are meant to know those details on your head, so that when you are called in a phone screen interview, because when the employer calls you on a phone screen interview, take note, it's with your CV already. So you are meant to tell him directly on what is being written on your CV, not to be telling him something different. So if you can be telling him something different, then he knows that this person is not a reliable candidate, then you might not be called for the main interview. So make sure that the details you are giving are as correct as what is written in your CV in a phone screen interview. Then if you are being called on a live video through your phone, make sure you are well dressed while you are seated talking to your interviewer. Make sure you are well dressed, and make sure that you are sitting in a well or conducive environment, not an environment that you'll be distracted by people. And make sure that your network is as good enough to make a call, because if it keeps on bridging, the caller might have no option than to end the call. And take note, you might have failed that interview. So always prepare for your phone screen interview just as you would have done in a live interview. So lastly is what I call informational format of interview. When we talk about the informational format of interview, this is a kind of interview that involves a potential applicant and a recruiter, or an already existing employee in a company. In this case, an interview is scheduled by a potential applicant. When I mean a potential applicant, I mean an applicant that wishes to work in a company, or that wishes to work in a certain role in a company. This kind of interview is fixed by a recruiter and a potential applicant. Here, the potential applicant asks questions about what is done in the company, what are the roles of individuals or employers in that company, and how they can be beneficial to that company, or what the company does, or what are their goals, what are their values. Like, it's a kind of mentorship and a mentee kind of interview session. Though this kind of interview session is not common, but it is done in well civilized countries, where an applicant or a potential applicant fixes a date for a meeting with a recruiter. And take note, this kind of interview section can be done either on your phone or even on a live chat, just like an individual interview. Alright, thank you for being there with us. I believe you've learned something today. Please, if you have enjoyed this video, or you've been enjoying all our other videos, do well by subscribing or by following us on this page. And don't forget to like and drop your comment. I'll be answering every questions that are being dropped on this comment section. Make sure you drop your questions, and make sure you follow us on all our channel. Our channel ID or our channel handle are displayed on screen. Make sure you follow us. It will help us to grow. Thank you.